Yo, what is up, guys? This is the Brickto here, and today we wanted to talk about the new LEGO Ideas typewriter that was just announced. It's going to be retailing for $200, available July 1st and June 16th for VIP members. This is set number 21327, has 2,079 pieces, and it is in the 18 plus category. Now let's just go ahead and talk about this set, what we think about it, because personally I was really shocked about this set, just how the final product came out. So I watched the designer video, and essentially it looks like you have this basically brick built case, in this sand green color, which I'm stoked about. Sand green, as you guys know, one of our favorite colors in the LEGO system. It just really goes back to the original, I think, Statue of Liberty for us, and that being in sand green as well. So excited to see that. And essentially you have this case of bricks on the outside, and the inside you have this super technical, it looks pretty complex, basically Technic mechanism in the inside, where you're almost getting basically a functional typewriter to some extent, right, K-Bricks?
Yeah, there's one thing I'd like to point out, though. So you pressing down the keys, it's pressing the same hammer over and over again, which with a real typewriter, all those different colored hammers, or all those different pieces they have in the middle right there, that would go up and hit based on the key you pressed. But the way this works is, yes, whenever you press the key down, the key does come back up like it would in a regular typewriter, but it just, the only hammer or key that's pressing on the actual black and red ink right there, like in quotations, it's not actual ink, is that center one. So it's a little bit disappointing for that side of things, is that they even added the pieces there to make it look like it. Obviously, I understand it was going to be pretty difficult to make that actually happen, saying that there's 31 keys. Like, I'd be pretty surprised if they had 31 functioning actual hammers, too, that would align correctly onto the actual ribbon ink. But, other than that, in my opinion, that part was a little bit disappointing, but definitely kind of expected for something like that to happen. I'd say the real exciting part, though, is the way that it slides the paper left to right, and you're able to click it back, too. I think that part looks really good and makes the set very very interesting for people that may be fans of typewriters or just fan of the LEGO Technic mechanism in that, too.
Yeah, I know in general that there's like a sort of a hardcore fan base that are into sort of typewriters or specific keyboards that I know are probably going to be more interested in, what sort of typewriter this most represents and whatnot. And they said it wasn't a after one specific typewriter. They took inspiration from multiple, but I'm sure that'll be a discussion, or maybe you guys might have some thoughts on that if you're sort of into that. But I think overall, just from a display piece, from the original LEGO Ideas, fan model that we had, I think they did a really good job of actually sort of maybe even upgrading it from that one and putting it into this finished product here. And moreover, I think that it really shows that the LEGO designers right now are just, in my opinion, really good. And they've done a really good job making these 18 plus sets that are seemingly, very hard or technical to make. And this sort of reminds me a little bit of the grand piano as well. It's hard to conceptualize even the mechanisms they're using inside. So I think from that aspect, I'm interested in the build for this. But again, what do you think about buying this set?
I think the price point at $200 is a little steep for just sort of 2,000 pieces. We don't know the weight of this set yet. I think that's kind of part of the deciding, or part of the factor you have to put in there. But it doesn't come with any minifigures either. So if you're looking at $200 for just over 2,000 pieces, my opinion, with that type of price to piece ratio, which I do look at, because like I said, I like to be able to I like a longer build. I like the more pieces it takes longer to build. Obviously, there's other things that go into that too, but I will say that I was kind of hoping for this to be maybe $150, but even still, I don't think I'd pick it up. It basically comes down to, there's only so much money I'm willing to spend on a bunch of LEGO sets, right? And yes, these direct-to-consumer sets, most of the direct-to-consumer sets are really interesting to me, but I have to pick and choose which ones I really want. And I'd say the one direct-to-consumer set that interests me more, instead of this per se, is the Daily Bugle or something like that.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before, there's some really good sets coming out, especially in this LEGO Ideas line, and there's been some higher price points, which I actually like more, but I found, in the end, us sort of not picking them up, just because to spend $200 to $300 on an Ideas set, there's a lot of other ones on our list that, we would rather get ahead of that, whereas spending $70 seems like a lot of times we end up picking it up because we're in store at the LEGO store and whatever, we're feeling good that day and we just pick it up. So
definitely.
Yeah. Again, that's sort of just our overarching thoughts on this set. Again, I think a fantastic design job by the LEGO designer, and the mechanism inside, in my opinion, looks pretty brilliant and super, I would say, sort of concise inside that sort of Lego system on the outside. So overall, guys, I think it's a great set. Don't think we'll be picking this one up anytime soon, but a great display piece. And if you're into this, I'm sure you guys are gonna be really interested in, you know, what they did as far as build techniques and whatnot. Anyway, this is the Brick Duo signing off. If you guys haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, guys.